On June 1st, 2020, LEGO released brand new LEGO sets from the Harry Potter lines, Ninjago, City, Jurassic World, DC and Marvel superheroes, to numerous countries around the world, except the United States. Now I could make this video just complaining, oh, it's not fair that the US has to wait till August, but instead I wanted to do some research and find out why LEGO releases sets to European countries months before they do the US. So without further ado, let's begin. Alright, so hey everybody, what's up? As I'm sure some of you know, my name is Zach. I am a huge LEGO fan, especially a fan of the LEGO Harry Potter waves. And obviously living in the United States, I haven't gotten the new LEGO Harry Potter sets, and I probably won't get them until August 1st. So I wanted to really sit down and research and try to find out why it is that LEGO releases the sets so far apart from each other. You know, June 1st in European countries to August 1st in the United States and in American countries. So that was what I wanted to research. And in order to really understand what's going on, we have to look at the marketing mix of LEGO. Now, for those of you that don't know, the marketing mix can be summed up basically as the 4 Ps, which are product, place, price, and promotion. And they're pretty self-explanatory. Product is what the company is selling. So in our case, LEGO sets, building kits, you know, in other words, toys. Looking at the price is how much the product costs. So LEGO typically costs, 10 cents per piece. So an $100 set, which would be something like you have here, would consist of roughly 1,000 pieces. The promotion is how the sets are promoted, how LEGO markets the product to us. So things like Instagram posts, YouTube videos, Facebook posts, all things like that. LEGO Club magazines, all those things are the way LEGO promotes the product. And the most important one for this video, which is place. Now, place can also be looked at as distribution, and distribution is basically how they get the sets, how they get the product rather, to the consumers. So obviously, as I'm sure you all know, the main LEGO headquarters is in Billund, Denmark at the LEGO house. I'm sure you've all seen that. It's a really cool looking building. And LEGO actually has 4 other main offices around the world, located in London, which is in the UK, Shanghai, which is in China, Enfield, Connecticut, which is in the United States, and in Singapore. Now, I don't really know the main job of these main offices. I'm assuming they're distribution centers. I tried doing research on what LEGO's distribution centers are. Basically, a distribution center is like, I am just gonna put a little preface down right now. This is all based off research. They don't teach us this kind of stuff in school, so I honestly don't know if all of this is true. So if there's something I'm not entirely sure of, I am going to stop and say that I'm not sure of it. But basically, a distribution center is where all the product is and it gets distributed. Think of it as like an Amazon warehouse. It's where all the LEGO sets are, and those LEGO sets go from the distribution center for the United States, Enfield, Connecticut, and they get put on trucks that get shipped to the LEGO stores, that get shipped to Target, shipped to Walmart, get shipped directly to you when you order from Shop at Home. So I'm assuming those 4 main offices are all distribution centers. I know for the one in the United States it is for sure, but I don't have a complete list of all LEGO's distribution centers. I did a Google search. I believe there's 11 based off what the internet's telling me. That might be false, give or take. Anyways, just to get an idea, Mattel, who is LEGO's biggest competitor, only has 3 distribution centers. So if the 4 main offices are their only distribution centers, that's 1 more than Mattel. If they have 11, like one internet site said, then that's way more than the competitors. Anyways, where to begin thinking about the sets? So Brickset.com actually just put out an article talking about, is the US getting the raw end of the deal with new LEGO sets? And they did a whole big, chart, a really nice looking data. They had really good conclusions there. And basically, although the US has a longer wait for sets, it seemed, according to their data, pretty even. The general trend was that the United States is getting the January releases before European countries are, but European countries are getting the summer releases way before the United States is, which is what basically prompted this video, because obviously the new Harry Potter sets I'm not getting for another 2 months. So Brickset, although they did a great article, I'm actually not going to be referring to their article in this video because I am not 100% confident that it's all correct, because Brickset used the data of when the sets were released in order to do this. And we're going to actually use this set right here as an example for this. So according to Brickset, this set, the LEGO Harry Potter 2018 Great Haul, came out in August of 2018 to the United States and September of 2018 to the European countries, which basically for their chart means that this is one set that the US got first. However, I knew that didn't sound right, so I went back and checked my information. I bought this set from Target.com in July 1st, I believe, of 2018, which basically means that I got the set a month before Brickset claims it was released to the US. And like I said, I ordered it from Target's online shop, so it's not like I randomly found it in a store. I decided to do a little more research into this. Other big LEGO YouTubers, such as Jang, or more specifically for this, such as, such as Jeremy Hubert and Brickfilms, who both I'm pretty certain are European YouTubers based off their accents. They also got this set and reviewed it in July. Now, could they have gotten it from the US? Maybe. Anyways, regardless, Brickset's information was not correct with this set, so I'm hesitant to use it for other sets. Now, why could this be? I mean, there could be a number of reasons for this. It could have to do with street dates. Obviously, if the boxes that these sets are shipped in have a label that said do not open until August 1st, people can open it as soon as they get it and sell them even though they're not supposed to. Now, that wouldn't explain why the online shop would sell them for Target, but anyways, I'm not going to be looking at Brickset's article for this. And honestly, Brickset's article isn't too helpful in discovering why this happens. Brickset's article just gives you numbers, and the numbers are a great thing. The numbers basically say, look, this is what happens. This many sets, the European countries are getting first, and this many sets, the United States is getting first. It's a great chart, but it isn't really going to be helpful for this context. So I decided to do some research, and honestly, there's no concrete answer just by Googling why does LEGO release sets to Europe early. So I decided to ask around. I asked some of my friends who are business majors, marketing majors, people who study this kind of thing. I just put out a question on Snapchat, asked people, and I got some interesting results. So one reason from a friend who studies this stuff said that it could be to test if a product is gonna work. That could be one reason why a business would do this. And I feel like that's obviously not going to be the case for LEGO, because LEGO is such a big business, it's profitable. They know chances are their products are going to sell. But I wanted to really dive in and see if there were any cases where a set got released early and then got taken off the market before the other parts of the world got it. And I actually couldn't find that, but I actually found a counter argument for that, which was the LEGO UCS Hoth. The UCS Hoth set, according to Brickset, came out 1 month earlier in the European countries in April than it did in the US in May. Now you may be saying, whoa, Zach, you just said don't trust Brickset. The reason I can trust Brickset on this one is because UCS Hoth was a LEGO exclusive set, which means the only way you can get that set is if LEGO releases it to you and you buy it directly from LEGO. You can't have the off chance of Target accidentally putting it on shelves earlier. You can't have the chance that Walmart, someone in the back, buys one. You don't have any of that here. This set is bought from LEGO on the date LEGO releases it officially. So, UCS Hoth came out a month early in Europe, and as I'm sure you all know the story goes, the set sucked. People hated it. I don't think it sold too well. It definitely got really bad reviews online, but it's still released in the US a month later. So if the reason why LEGO's releasing the sets early to Europe was because they wanted to see if the sets would do good, I just found a reason that can't be true. So a more common reason I found from between the people I asked would be because it allows the media to self-promote the business. That's why companies would do this. And I guess I should just mention when I asked people this, I didn't specifically mention LEGO because I wanted the very broad answer. So the last answer was very broad. This is also another broad answer, but I think it could maybe have something to do with it. So releasing sets to Europe early would allow the media to market the product, which obviously saves a company money. Think about it. When these sets come out in Europe, everyone in Europe is buying them and they're making videos on them. They're posting pictures of them on Facebook. They're making YouTube review videos. And this helps promote the product because people watch this, I can even say from personal experience, I'm part of the Brickset Facebook group online, and there are a lot of pictures of the astronomy tower set all over that and a bunch of other new sets. And it's basically promoting it because these people are taking a picture saying, hey, look how good this set is. And then I see it and I'm like, damn, that's pretty awesome. I'm going to have to get it when it comes out in the US. Now that could be the reason. However, I'm not entirely sure that that's why LEGO does this. And I am actually positive this isn't why LEGO does this, because LEGO actually uses the media as part of their marketing. They have what's called the LEGO affiliate program. Some of you probably have heard of it. And it's basically when LEGO sends new sets to Brickset, to big influencers such as Just Too Good, M&R Productions, people like that. People who have a big following. LEGO sends them the sets early. So if the reason LEGO is releasing the sets to Europe early is so the media can self-promote it, then why are they wasting money and sending the sets to these big YouTubers for free? It just doesn't make sense to me, because if LEGO wants the media to market the product, if that's the reason they're doing this, is so the media can market the product, then why are they giving the media the sets for free? Especially when you know someone like Just Too Good is going to buy the Harry Potter sets regardless of if he gets them for free or not. And what also wouldn't make sense is I saw on YouTube that Just Too Good actually just posted a review of one of the new Harry Potter sets. I'm assuming he got it from LEGO. I think it's safe to assume this because in M&R's most recent vlog, he said he was getting the sets sent from LEGO. So LEGO releases the sets only in Europe just to send them to American YouTubers so they can promote the sets through the media. That just doesn't make sense to me. I don't think that could possibly be the reason, because if LEGO wanted to release the sets early so the media would focus on them, why would they give the sets to these YouTubers who are in the US and are like, oh my gosh, hey guys, welcome, Just Too Good here, or what's up studs, M&R here, this is my review of the set, but you can't get it in the United States. I don't think that's a smart marketing strategy. Now, that being said, I don't have a problem with LEGO doing this. I think it's a good marketing strategy, but I don't think it's a good strategy in regards to delaying the release of the sets, because it almost makes it feel like they're working for LEGO in a sense. Now, don't get me wrong here. If LEGO was to email me and say, hey, we're gonna send you the new Harry Potter sets for free and before your region gets them, all we want you to do is make a video on them, 100% I would do it. I mean, my email's in the description, LEGO. But it doesn't make sense as a marketing strategy, so I don't think that's it either. So I did some serious research and I found some pretty interesting things. So there's one article that I actually want to read a quote to you from. And basically what it says right here, this is from a business article, and I'm just going to read it out loud to you guys. And this article actually leads to what I believe the true reason that LEGO is releasing the sets staggered by. So bear with me. This is what it says. It says, and I quote, "A lack of cohesive global strategy has long plagued LEGO, especially during its turbulent times. Key functions such as direct-to-consumer business and its global supply chain were described by former CEO Jorge Nudstorp, I'm very sorry if I butchered that name, as highly dysfunctional and operating in silos." Well, this makes sense. Obviously, we know the direct-to-consumer stuff from LEGO is really, really poorly marketed. I mean, take the new haunted house set, for instance. I saw pictures of the haunted house. I said, oh, that's a cool set. But I didn't know until I saw Just Too Good's video on it that it was a drop ride, which is like, what? How bad does your marketing have to be that you're not showing based off the box art that it's a drop ride? I mean, I looked at the pictures. I seriously looked at the pictures on my phone and I'm like, wow, this looks like a good set. Doesn't really interest me, but it's cool. But when I found out it was a drop ride later from a YouTuber's video, an independent person's video, not working for LEGO's video, that's really poor marketing on my part, in my opinion at least. Anyways, just to continue reading here, while LEGO has committed to investing in a production infrastructure for 2017 expansions, I should mention this article is from 2017, and in either 2016 or 2017, LEGO was the highest business in like the world for, I think for toys, definitely, maybe even more than that. That says it in this article. I'll probably link it in the description. Anyways, much has been centered on the Asian market despite ambitious expansion plans to capture demand in Oceania and Latin America. We know this. LEGO is seriously focusing on their Asian markets. This also helps with the ethos of this writer. I believe it's true because this all is what's happening. We've seen an insane increase of Asian directed LEGO sets. As a consequence, there is an imbalance among LEGO's global supply chain. potentially exposing LEGO's existing European facilities and ongoing Latin America operation developments to the risk of overstretching regional supply chain capabilities, resulting in the fundamental inability to produce a consistent level of service and quality across the entire supply chain. LEGO risks repeating the supply chain dysfunction that nearly took down the company before. And that line of the article, I think, really says it all. I believe that the reason LEGO is releasing these sets staggered, releasing the sets to Europe earlier than the US, is because they cannot meet the demand. They don't have the resources to make enough sets to release all at once. Now, let me back this up with some facts. So this same website has a really cool graphic, I'll put it on screen, that basically says that it takes 77 days to make a LEGO set from start to finish. Everything from designing it, making the parts, to shipping it out, it takes 77 days. That's a little more than the time it takes between June 1st and August 1st. Now, think about it. LEGO is making the sets, so they make a batch of LEGO sets, a batch of the new sets, and they ship them to Europe, let's say a week before June 1st, so they can be on shelves. Then they start making the next batch of the same sets, and if they start right then, they'll be ready to go to the US in August. So, I think that that's why they're staggering the releases. Now, naturally, Europe would get them first because they're probably on a time crunch. I mean, we already know LEGO's transportation isn't great. I should mention this, in the early 2000s, I think mainly between 2004 and 2008, LEGO had serious financial problems, so they had to cut a lot of their transportation, and I think even a couple of warehouses too. I'm not entirely sure about warehouses, but they definitely cut international transportation by a lot. They cut workers, they cut, just trucks, things in general. And this was a huge risk for the company, but it actually ended up in the long run being beneficial. It's actually what kept LEGO going, and their money, their income, their profits really skyrocketed after that. So LEGO is short on transportation. Now, here's where the theory gets good, because LEGO gains 40% of their yearly profit at Christmas. So for Christmas time, what do? They hire more employees. They hire employees specifically for Christmas. And just hear me out here. So LEGO has more employees for Christmas, and when they're working around Christmas time, they're making the January 1st releases. According to Brickfilms data, a lot of the sets, which again, this data is, I don't believe it's right, but in this case, the data is helping our argument here. The US is getting a lot of the January 1st releases in November, while Europe is getting a lot of them in December. These are January releases. So think about it. LEGO has more staff. So what do you think they're doing? They say, okay, we got to make sure all the new sets are on store shelves January 1st. That's when they come out. That's when people are buying them. The whole world is buying them. It's literally post-Christmas. It's literally Christmas time. You want to have yourselves stocked. So what do? They make a whole bunch of sets, ship them to the US because that's the farther place to go. Then they make a bunch more sets and ship them to the Europe distribution centers, and there they go. They have all the sets. That, I think, is the reason we're finding LEGO sets early in the United States during this time. Because if you send the sets to the US, the people who work at Target, they're like my age. Half of them are teenagers, people who don't care about their job. They see a new box, they're just going to open it, put it on shelves. That's why YouTubers are finding January sets before January. Same thing in Europe. Europe is just getting them later because it's easier to get the sets to Europe. And now this is all happening while LEGO has double their staff. So if they have half the staff and they have to produce the same amount of LEGO sets for the summer, don't you think that would be a lot harder? So what do? They say, okay, we're going to focus on one region first, and then we'll focus on making sets for the next region. I think it's the only thing that makes sense, LEGO can't afford, they physically don't have the people, I don't know the right word, they physically don't have enough resources, if that makes sense, to make enough sets to go to the entire world at once. Because we know they've cut transportation. We know they have half the staff they would for Christmas time, and Christmas time, they always get the new sets out on shelves. So I think that is why they're doing this. Now, how can we know if this is true? The biggest thing, like I mentioned, is street dates. If LEGO had all the sets made June, and they had all the sets made for June 1st, and even if they send them to the US and say, okay, we have these sets, we're sending them to you, but you can't sell them until August 1st because, oh, we want media to market them, or oh, we want to see if they do well, you know they'd pop up on shelves, right? You know, that's just the way it works. You know, the system isn't perfect. You know, sets get out before their street dates. So I think that's why the US isn't even seeing these sets. It's not because they don't release yet, it's because we don't have them yet, because they're still being made. And I think that if we start seeing some of the sets releasing, say the last couple of weeks of July, that would probably be when the stores are getting them. And you know, it's just the same thing. Oh, the employee who doesn't care to read the street date opens the box and says, oh, new product, puts it on shelves. That is why I think LEGO is staggering these releases. I don't think it's anything against the United States. I don't think it has anything to do with, you know, marketing or media or any of that, because again, if it did, why would they send sets to US YouTubers? It makes no sense. But please, if you're watching this video, I'd happily take free sets. But in all seriousness, I think that's why. And honestly, again, LEGO hasn't said anything explicitly about this. LEGO hasn't talked about this, which also I think makes sense. If you are the biggest toy company in the world, I don't think you want to come out and just tell everyone like, oh yeah, we can't make enough sets to give everyone them on the same day. We have to stagger the releases. Like, it doesn't make sense to say that. So I really feel like that would be a logical reason. And honestly, thinking about that reason, it makes me almost in a way less upset about the wait, you know? Yes, having to wait for new LEGO sets isn't fun. And I'm not just saying that because, oh, I want them now, I want to build up my city and all that stuff. I'm saying that because, you know, even in the competitive YouTube world, you know, I'm a small LEGO YouTuber. When I get this set, I'm going to review it. The problem is, a review video on this set is going to be the same as the review video Jang puts out, or Just Too Good puts out, or M&R puts out, because we're all looking at the same product. And if I'm trying to stand out, if my review gets posted 3 months after all the other reviews from European YouTubers and the affiliate program YouTubers, then who's going to watch it? Like, obviously, at that point, you're watching it because you want to hear my personal thoughts, not because you want to see the set. And it does, in a way, hurt my channel, in a sense, if that makes sense. Now, I'm not saying that as like, woe is me again. I'm saying that just as, if the reason they are doing this was for the media marketing, I'd be upset. But if LEGO physically can't produce the sets, if they can't physically produce enough product, I get it. And honestly, I feel like that makes it better. So that is honestly, based off my research, what I believe the reason is that LEGO has the staggered release dates. I think it really has to do with the fact that they just can't produce enough. If you want to do more research on this, definitely, I'd love to hear if you agree with me, disagree with me, if you found anything else interesting. I spent a few days researching this, but yeah, I really do think it has to do with LEGO just not being able to meet the demand. I mean, because I think that would make sense also for Bricksets data, which may not all be true, but Bricksets data says the sets that the US is getting late has a much bigger gap than the ones Europe is getting late. That makes sense if it's because there's less people working to make them. You know, again, because the Christmas time rush, LEGO puts in extra employees, they have extra people working. The more people you have working, the faster the work gets done, the faster the sets get shipped out to the US, the faster the next batch of sets gets made and sent to Europe. Same way, when there's less people, it takes longer to get the sets sent out to Europe, and then you have to do it all again to get them out to the United States. That's what I think. And like I said, is any of this true? Take it with a grain of salt. I don't know. This is just, I had to do research. I had to try to figure out. I wanted to justify why this could be, and I hope that some of you guys found this interesting, found this informative, at least learned something in the process of this video. Yeah, and that's honestly going to be it for this video, though. I believe that the reason the sets are released way earlier in Europe for the summer than in the United States is because LEGO has less staff. They're just physically not able to make the products and ship them to the United States all for the same release date. So yeah, like I said, anyways, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. This is probably a longer one. It's a lot of me talking too. There's not really going to be many interesting cuts or anything. But you know what? If you're interested, I really appreciate you taking the time to watch it. And if you did stay for the whole thing, leave me a comment telling me which minifigure from this great haul set is your favorite. That way I'll know that you stayed for the whole video, and if you do that, I'll give you a shout out in my next video. That's going to be it for this video though. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll talk to you all again in my next video.